Sean Kingston, the Jamaican-American singer, rose to fame in the late 2000s. His hit song Beautiful Girls topped the Billboard charts in 2007. Kingston became a household name. He collaborated with artists like Justin Bieber and Nicki Minaj. His success seemed unstoppable. However, recent events have cast a dark shadow on Kingston's career. He and his mother, Janice Turner, found themselves at the center of a high-profile fraud case. Kingston's journey from music stardom to the defendant's chair is a stark reminder that fame and fortune can be fleeting. The case has gripped the nation, raising questions about the singer's actions and the potential consequences he faces. The trial, held in Broward County, Florida, unveiled a series of fraudulent transactions. Kingston and his mother were accused of using their celebrity status to deceive businesses. The prosecution presented a compelling case. They detailed a pattern of deceit that spanned several years. The trial captivated the public, becoming a constant fixture in news headlines. The case served as a stark reminder that even those in the public eye are not above the law. The heart of the case against Sean Kingston and Janice Turner lay in a string of alleged fraudulent activities. The duo was accused of engaging in a scheme to defraud various businesses. Their targets included jewelers, a television installment company, and even a car dealership. The prosecution alleged that Kingston and Turner used their celebrity status to gain trust and access goods and services without the intention of paying for them. The alleged scheme involved elaborate lies, forged documents, and manipulation. The prosecution painted a picture of calculated deceit. They presented evidence of how Kingston and Turner allegedly used their ill-gotten gains to fund a lavish lifestyle. One of the most significant pieces of evidence was a series of wire transfers. These transfers showed large sums of money moving between accounts controlled by Kingston, Turner, and various shell companies. The prosecution argued that these transfers were designed to conceal the origin of the funds and make it difficult to trace the money trail. The prosecution presented a mountain of evidence, including financial records, emails, and text messages. They argued that this evidence clearly demonstrated a pattern of fraudulent behavior. The trial was closely watched by the media and the public alike. The courtroom was packed with journalists, legal experts, and curious onlookers eager to witness the proceedings. One of the most compelling aspects of the trial was the testimony of the alleged victims. These individuals, some of whom had considered themselves fans of Kingston's music, took the stand to recount their experiences. One by one, they described how they had been drawn into what they believed were legitimate business deals with the singer. They spoke of the financial and emotional toll the alleged fraud had taken on them. Moshe Adery, a prominent jeweler, delivered particularly impactful testimony. Adery detailed how he had been contacted by Kingston regarding a potential purchase of a high-end watch. He described how Kingston had gained his trust, ultimately leading to a transaction worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Adery testified that despite repeated attempts to contact Kingston and recoup the debt, he was met with silence. Throughout the trial, Janice Turner, Kingston's mother, remained a controversial figure. The prosecution alleged that she played a pivotal role in the scheme. They accused her of facilitating fraudulent deliveries, creating fake documents, and handling the illicit funds. Facing a mountain of evidence and compelling testimonies from alleged victims, the defense team faced an uphill battle. They argued that Kingston and Turner were not guilty of intentional fraud. Instead, they painted a picture of a chaotic financial situation. The defense claimed that Kingston, despite his success in the music industry, was not financially savvy. They argued that he relied heavily on his mother and other associates to manage his finances. They suggested that any mismanagement or questionable transactions were the result of incompetence rather than criminal intent. The defense attorneys argued that Kingston's celebrity status made him an easy target for opportunists. They claimed that some of the alleged victims may have exaggerated their claims, seeing an opportunity to profit from the situation. The defense also pointed to instances where Kingston had repaid debts. They argued that these repayments demonstrated a lack of intent to permanently defraud anyone. However, the prosecution countered that these repayments were often made under duress or after legal action had been threatened. After days of intense testimony, compelling evidence, and passionate arguments from both sides, the case went to the jury. The jury, tasked with the weighty responsibility of determining the fate of Sean Kingston and Janice Turner, deliberated for over 3 hours. The tension in the courtroom was palpable as everyone awaited the verdict. Finally, the jury foreperson announced their decision: guilty. Sean Kingston and Janice Turner were found guilty on all counts. The courtroom erupted in gasps and murmurs as the weight of the verdict sank in. Kingston and Turner, who had appeared stoic throughout much of the trial, showed visible signs of shock and distress. The judge revoked their bond, and they were immediately taken into custody. The guilty verdict sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry and beyond. It served as a stark reminder that no one, not even a celebrity, is above the law. With the guilty verdict delivered, the focus shifted to the upcoming sentencing hearing. Scheduled for July 11, 2025, the hearing will determine the severity of the consequences Kingston and Turner will face. The potential penalties are significant. They face up to 20 years in prison for each of the 6 counts they were convicted of. The judge has considerable discretion in determining the final sentence. It is likely that the prosecution will push for a substantial prison term. They argue that Kingston and Turner's actions were calculated, egregious, and caused significant harm to their victims. Kingston's legal team is expected to request leniency. They will likely highlight his lack of prior criminal history and his contributions to the music industry. They may also argue that his mother, Janice Turner, was the mastermind behind the scheme and that he was influenced by her. The upcoming sentencing hearing is generating significant public interest. Many are eager to see what price Kingston and Turner will pay for their crimes. The news of Sean Kingston's guilty verdict spread like wildfire across social media. The internet erupted in a frenzy of reactions, with many expressing shock, disappointment, and anger. Kingston's once adoring fans grappled with the news. Some expressed disbelief, struggling to reconcile the image of the charismatic singer with the convicted fraudster. Others felt betrayed, expressing their anger and disappointment over his actions. Social media platforms were flooded with comments, memes, and hashtags related to the case. Kingston's name became synonymous with fraud and deceit. The fallout from the guilty verdict extended far beyond social media. Kingston's once promising music career came to a screeching halt. His music was pulled from radio stations and streaming services. Planned concerts and tours were canceled. Endorsement deals vanished overnight. The case served as a cautionary tale, highlighting the potential for public downfall even for those who seem to have it all. The court of public opinion can be swift and unforgiving. While fame can bring immense wealth, adoration, and opportunities, it can also amplify scrutiny and consequences. Kingston's story is a cautionary tale about the importance of accountability, especially for those in the public eye. His actions have not only tarnished his reputation, but have also eroded the trust of his fans and the public. The case highlights the responsibility that comes with fame and fortune. It underscores the importance of using one's platform for good and setting a positive example. Kingston's story is a reminder that actions have consequences regardless of one's status or wealth. The legal system is designed to hold everyone accountable for their actions. The court of public opinion can be equally unforgiving.